Morning, everybody. Gonna start with a Bob Marley tune. Yahoo! Do 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 do. I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I said don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds sitting by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I said don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, rise up this morning, I smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds sitting by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Gonna say that again. Every little thing gonna be alright. And one more time, yeah. Every little thing gonna be alright. Thank you for singing.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster. And thank you for being here on a long weekend, Pride weekend, lots of things going on in Vancouver. Very grateful that you are all here. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and it is my honor to be the minister at this community of love and fun and faith and support and joy. Every time I come in here, there's this sort of sense of uplift that warms my soul. So thank you. I'm so privileged to be your minister. Welcome. And welcome to you who are joining us online, either now live or sometime in the future. On behalf of all of us here at Unity in New Westminster, British Columbia, we are very, very glad you're here. We join together every week to consider ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example, and we honor that there is wisdom to be found in faith traditions all over the planet. There's wisdom to be found in story and in song and in our life experiences. And we honor every person's right to choose their own life path. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. And our intention and vision is that we leave with ideas for calm, connected, and contented living. Shall we begin our program today in a time of centering prayer? We are so grateful that we are here today on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. on this weekend where we celebrate Pride in Vancouver. We give thanks that we can join together to be reminded of our connection with each other, to be reminded of our oneness. We embrace the idea that there is only one power. For some, that power is named God. For others, Allah, Yahweh, Mother Nature, the universe, science, life, nature. By whatever our understanding may be, for the creative energy in which we live and breathe and have our being, we embrace the idea that it is one power. And that it is from this one power that we are, all of us, connected to each other. That there is no spot that power is not. And from this idea of connection, we imagine sending blessings of love, blessings for peace, for healing, for acceptance to every being on this planet. We are so grateful that we can come together to be reminded that we are one within the one, as part of the one. And for this, we are so grateful. And we say Amen. I'm going to invite Violet to come up and read the daily word. Yay!
Hello. I'm Violet. Today's daily word theme is truth. I speak my truth with clarity and compassion. Living in an increasingly polarized world, I am aware not everyone will share my perspective or see life the way I do. As much as I want to live harmoniously with others, I also want to stand up for what I believe, what I know is true for me. I appreciate that others feel the same way about their beliefs. I speak the truth. I center myself in my divinity, while acknowledging the divinity of all others. I am honest and grounded, staying steady if someone does not agree with me. Likewise, I receive others' truth as I would want them to receive mine. The presence of peace is within me. I am a spiritual being, living with integrity, speaking words of truth with spiritual power. This reading was inspired by Segarra, chapter 8, verse 16. Let's listen. These are the things that you shall do. Speak the truth to one another. Render in your gates judgments that are true and make for peace. Now, let's enjoy the sun when I open my mind.
When I open my mind, when I open my mind, when I open my mind, I see more clearly. When I open my mind, when I open my mind, when I open my mind, I see more clearly. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I open my heart, I see things differently. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I open my heart, I see things differently. When I open my soul, when I open my soul, when I open my soul, I see love. When I open my soul, when I open my soul, when I open my soul, I see love. Thank you.
And as we prepare ourselves to hear today's message, I invite you to close your eyes with me as we give ourselves this gift of a peaceful pause. If it's more comfortable for you to leave your eyes open, then allow them just to rest in front of you. And become aware of your breath. Consider taking a breath that's a little deeper than you normally would. And with every breath, become aware of both the in and the out. That marvelous flow of life. Take a moment to be grateful for that breath. And with every breath, allow your body to sink a little deeper into your seat. Notice that there are parts of your body that may be tense. And imagine them becoming heavier. And draw your attention beneath the busyness of your thoughts. Imagine sinking deeper beneath those thoughts. To a place where you are opening your heart. Imagine your heart gently opening. Imagine love flowing from you to every part of your own body, of your own being. And then imagine it flowing even more, further afield. Love flowing from you. And imagine as the love is flowing from you that it touches others. And they may not even be aware of where it's coming from, but they have this feeling of lifting. Perhaps a feeling of more comfort. Less fear. A reassurance that they matter. And imagine then from that feeling that you have sent out, that others receive, that their hearts open. And from their hearts, which received your love, their love flows. And touches the people around them. Imagine love flowing from you, flowing to others, flowing from others to others. And then imagine that love flowing right back to you. Open hearts, acceptance, compassion, forgiveness, tenderness, all part of this beautiful flow of open-hearted love. And in the silence, rest in that lovely place where you know that you matter, that you are filled with love, that love is wished upon you. That peace is yours. And so it is.
I got me a dog, and she keeps me alright. 2 beating hearts in the deep of night, and it seems that's all I need right now. I sleep with one ear open, and I listen for her sound. I got me a car that's hard on gas. I bought her for looks and comfort and class, and she always gets me where I want to go. And freedom is a kiss on the cheek and a quick trip out the door. And I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing fine. I got me a plan, and I am trekking through it. I'm turning with the tide, and everything is alright. I got me a candle, tiny golden light. It glows in the dark and keeps the cold outside. My heart is settled, no longer in my throat. Surrender now is how I live and keep myself afloat. And I know I'm not supposed to, but I feed the birds, and I walk my neighbor's dog on the weeknights. I'm turning with the tide, and everything is alright. And the earth spins her revolutions. The days pass with busying speed. In my glacial evolution, I have everything I need. I got me a friend I haven't seen for years. We talked on the phone, and she held my tears. Oceans of future stretching straight ahead, with ones I love and woolen socks and road trips round the bend. And I know what I'm made of. I've taken my stock. I'm accepting my terms, and I am airtight. I'm turning with the tide, and everything is alright. Yeah, I'm turning with the tide, and everything is alright.
Thank you, Linda. Beautiful song.
Thank
Beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful soul in every way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was several years ago. I used to work at the Party Bazaar in Vancouver. Does anybody remember that store?
Yep.
Well, I was the general manager at that store for 10 years, so thank you. And one of the things, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, one of the things that was sort of our claim to fame was Halloween. We did Halloween long before Spirit Halloween did Halloween. Like, we were the Halloween store. People would line up outside. We would have security guards. The place would be filled with people. I can't even imagine what COVID and after COVID, the whole idea of that many people in one small space kind of gives me the creeps. But at that time, it was just part of the party, and we would have the music pumping, and the whole place would be a party. And, of course, it's a business. So I am in charge of making sure that we're going to hit our sales targets, because there are people who are going to get bonuses if we hit our sales targets. It's a Saturday Halloween, and as of that morning, we weren't quite there. And I was able to go and check on sales kind of during the day, periodically. And what I noticed was that I was kind of nervous, and I was helping at the cash registers, but not myself. Like, normally I'm part of the life of the party, and I could tell that I just wasn't there. Nervous, fearful about the outcome of whether or not the sales were going to be there. Until finally I get a chance to get off the cash register, get somebody else on, and go to the back and realize that we had made it. Then I came back, and it was like I was a different person. I was happy, I was cheerful, I was jolly, and everybody else probably could tell that there was a difference in how I behaved. And what changed? Nothing. I could have been that same person starting at 8 o'clock that morning, and nothing would have changed with respect to the outcome of the sales. But the story I was telling myself about, am I going to make this? Are we going to make this? What's going to happen? Affected me so much that I allowed myself to be driven a little bit by that sense of uncertainty. And I've never forgotten that experience and that realization that I could have been that happy, joyful person all along. And if anything, it might have gotten those results that I wanted sooner. But it wouldn't have cost me anything to be in that place earlier. And I want to share that thought and that realization with you, because it's part of Unity's third principle, which is, in my language, ideas lead to experiences. I was having an idea that things were not going to go my way. And because things weren't going my way, I allowed it to affect how I was showing up. And I realized that this phrase can change my life if I remember it. The story I'm telling myself is. Because that morning, the story I was telling myself was, it's uncertain. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. We're not going to make it. There are going to be people who are disappointed. And it was a story that wasn't necessarily true. In fact, it turned out not to be true, but I allowed it to affect who I was. It's not just what happens to us that determines our life experience. It's the story that we tell ourselves about what happens. Why is this important to kind of keep in mind? Well, because, we're human. We're meaning-making machines. We take a situation and then we draw meaning from that situation, and then we start to believe the meaning that we've made about that situation, and then we start to act according to the belief we've made up about that situation. And sometimes it works really well, and far too often it seems it doesn't serve us all that well. So, there are times when we respond in a way that has a great outcome, and sometimes, it seems to me more often, we end up with a reaction that leads to something that's not as pleasant. But let me just give you an example of a story that gets made up where something does work in somebody's favor. There are 3 little frogs hopping along their merry way, and they land in a well. And it's pretty deep. And they try, and no matter what they're doing, they can't get out. And finally, a friend comes along and sees them down there and starts yelling, "Give up, give up. It's too far down." And one frog tries a few times, and then he realizes this guy's telling the truth. And so he croaks. I know, sorry. And then his friend tries a little bit longer and finally does the same thing. And the third friend, the third frog down at the bottom, he sees this guy doing this, and he sees that this guy is yelling. And he jumps and he jumps and he jumps, and finally he makes it out. And the friend says, "How did you do that? I thought that there was no way that you could come out. I was really upset for you." And the frog says, "Well, you forget that I can only hear when I'm close to you. And I thought you were saying jump." You never know. He believed a story and it worked, rather than croaking. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But too often, isn't it true that the stories we make up affect us in a way that sometimes can be damaging to our relationships, sometimes damaging to ourselves? I know, I won't say people's names, but I know of one situation currently in my life where a person sent an email, the other person didn't respond quickly enough. This person said, "Hey, is there something that I've done wrong?" This person got upset with this person for saying that, and now they don't speak to each other. What? And it sounds funny, but in some ways, we do things like that a lot, at times. So it can be hard on our relationships. It can be hard on us, because there's nothing that feels really ick to feel like you've been victimized, that you're a victim, that somebody has turned away from you, or that there is some reason for upset, that somehow you aren't meaning something in a person's life. And because of that, we'll be more prone to being angry and to feeling this upset. We miss the opportunities to have fun. We miss the opportunities to enjoy our lives when we're working a problem. And the problem is of our own imagination's making. Sometimes it may not be, but at this point, we don't know that for sure. The Buddha said, with our thoughts, we make the world. With our thoughts, we make the world. If we think of ourselves as the directors of our own life, as well as the actors in our own lives, and the screenwriters of our own life's story, then let's see if we can catch the story that we're making up and turn it into something positive before we make these assumptions that can be so damaging without actually knowing what's going on. Before we, hi-ho, it's off to hell we go. And we're going to give you a couple of ideas. The first is to catch yourself adding the comma. So think of a journalist. Who, what, where, when. Those are things that we could probably all agree on. So let's pick a scenario. Somebody doesn't return my email. That's the truth. Somebody has, we think it's the truth anyway, that I've sent an email, I've asked for a response, I'm not getting a response. We can all agree that I sent an email, there'll be a record of that. That I have asked for a response, there'll be a record of that. And that I have not, in my inbox, received an email back. So I sent an email, I requested a response, I have not seen an email back. We can all agree on that. Then we put in the comma. And the comma is, and the story I'm telling myself about this is. And now, shout out to me some of the possibilities that you can think of about me not receiving that email. Anybody? Person hasn't looked at their emails. It went into their spam folder or into your spam folder. Wrong email address. There's a million reasons, but what are some of the others? She hates me. I don't know how to respond to emails. I'm going to ask my granddaughter. So you have all of these different possibilities that can lead to either acceptance, it could be any one of these very legitimate things, or it can be she hates me, or I'm not intelligent enough to, whatever it might be. The suffering comes after the comma. So catch yourself when you add the comma. There's a couple of others. He doesn't call me back. That means, especially like in a dating situation, he doesn't respect me, he doesn't like me, he's ghosting me, he thinks he's too good for me, he's busy, he's married. Could be 100 million different choices. He's with his other girlfriend. She didn't ask me to be her bridesmaid, and that means ... I didn't get the job, and that means da 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 da. And sometimes they're things that we can shrug off, and sometimes they can kind of sting. So the first thing is catch yourself when you add the comma. And see if you can put a full stop after what the journalist would do. When, where, and who. She didn't ask me to be her bridesmaid, period. He didn't return my call, period. I didn't get the job, period. And then I'm going to give you 4 letters. Cast. We're talking about this as being the play, right? You're telling a story. Cast. The first 2 letters stand for the courage to ask. The courage to ask. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to discern whether it's story or truth. So the courage to ask if it's story or truth. First, why do I use the word courage? Because sometimes it's more comfortable to believe the stories we make up. It's easier to believe the stories we make up than to have the courage to go to someone and say, so when this happened, about this incident that happened, the story I'm telling myself is, can you help me understand if I'm making that story up accurately? That can be really tough. We don't have language for that kind of thing very often, so it's easier and more human and more damaging long term to make up our own story and then believe it, act accordingly, and suffer. Sometimes part of the reason that I say that we need courage is because sometimes it's difficult to acknowledge when the story that we've made up isn't true, and to accept and stand up and go, yeah, I messed up. This is what I thought, and I set a course of motion, all of these different things that were to do with me making up the story that created all of this havoc in my life, only to find out that it wasn't true. That takes courage too, to say I messed up. I was basing my reality on something that was inaccurate. It also takes courage to admit that you don't know it. We seem to have this allergy to saying, I don't know. But there's no way that you can know the reason that somebody didn't send an email unless you have the courage to ask. And then they'll say things like, oh yeah, I was on vacation. Oh, my internet was down. Oh no, it's because blah, blah, blah. And they're not going to be brave enough themselves to say, oh no, it's because I hate you. But hopefully they do. But at least you'll have an opportunity to talk it out and find out what's going on. And that clears the air. Even an honest, I don't like you, or I don't want to be in relationship with you, clears the air. You may not like it, but it's better than living in the mud of trying to understand why there's some sort of unspoken tension around the two of you. It's a vulnerable position, though, to ask for clarification. But so often, what we find is that their intention was completely different than the story you thought. And as I was preparing this, what came to mind was the poem Footprints. Remember, some of you know this poem, some of you will. I'll read it to you. It's called Footprints in the Sand. One night I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Scenes from my life flashed across the sky. In each, I noticed footprints in the sand. Sometimes there were 2 sets of footprints. Other times there was only one. During the low periods of my life, I could see only one set of footprints. So I said, "You promised me, Lord, that you would walk with me always. Why, when I have needed you most, have you not been there for me?" The Lord replied, "The times when you have seen only one set of footprints, my child, is when I carried you." Do you see the wisdom and the power of asking, of having the courage to ask? Because how many people have walked around with a similar sort of hurt, feeling that they have been abandoned by God, by their families, by their loved ones, by their jobs, by their church communities, by life, making assumptions that may not be true. So have the courage to ask if it's story or truth. And remember that one of the ways that you can distinguish between the two is that if it's a story, it can have more than one possible explanation after the comma. And we've heard some of them today. If you can come up with more than one possible explanation, chances are it's a story that you've made up. And what do you do then? If you're suffering, and perhaps you don't have the courage to ask, or it's impossible to ask, maybe the person has moved or has passed away, and you're still suffering from an assumption that you made, change the story. You made it up. Make up a different one that feels better. It doesn't matter if it's true or not at that point, because there's no one who can tell you what the truth actually was. So you might as well shift the story. It'll cost you nothing and gain you the world. The truth will set you free. Sometimes you can't tell the truth or find the truth. Create your own. You are your inner screenwriter. Adjust your screenwriting and let the director within you say, "I would like a happy ending to this, please." You know how often we assume and focus on a negative rather than assume a good intention? We do it all the time. I don't know if I have any Kleenexes here. I meant to bring some up. Imagine I have a Kleenex box in my hand. And this is your performance review. Everyone ever had a performance review? How'd you feel about them? They're horrible. They're horrible. Why? Because this is what we do. We take out an aspect of your job and we go, "Oh, you do really well with that." It's another one, you come in on time, you do really well with that. "Oh, you're always well groomed, you do really well with that. You're great at customer service, oh, great. Oh, there are times when you don't answer your emails well. Well, let's talk about it. Let's find ways that you can make this better." This is the reason that performance reviews are horrible. Because what we assume is that all this other good stuff is assumed when it is not. And then we spend undue focus on a tiny little aspect at times that does nothing to build a person up. So notice when you are assuming and focusing on the poor intention, and see if you can focus instead on the good stuff. See what you can do with that. And know that it's a human tendency to focus on the worst. It is what we're hardwired to do because we are focused on what is a threat to us. So all the stuff that's safe, that can be put aside because what we need to focus on is on the thing that's going to hurt. So there's the biological incentive or imperative for what's going on when we look at things and focus on the negative only. And perhaps my favorite Bible verse of all time is Philippians 4, chapter 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on these things. And if you're having difficulty with this idea of changing the story, then another acronym I'm going to throw at you, because why not? You're here. And that is the acronym THINK. Is it true? Is what I'm about to say or do or believe or think true? Is it going to help? Will it inspire? Is it necessary? And is it kind? Even in the most challenging situations, we want to act, think, express, and speak in a way which is true, helpful, inspiring, and kind, and only when it is necessary. It has been years since that day when I realized how much I was allowing the story that I told myself to influence who I was during that day. But I've never, the money, of course, is long gone, but I've never forgotten the lesson. I don't always live it, but I aspire to it. To live as if there's a happy ending. In fact, to live as if it's a happy story. And if at times down the road there are parts that are unhappy, well, then I'll deal with them then. But I don't need to add to that misery by anticipating it along the way, especially when it might not have ever happen. When you're suffering, when you're feeling hurt or drained or misunderstood, or things are getting you down and life is happening to you, imagine yourself as the director of your own story. Use the phrase itself. The story I'm telling myself is ... Have the courage to ask if it's story or truth. And if you discover that it's truth, wonderful. If you find that it's a story, see if you can rewrite the story, if you can't just put a period after it. you may as well enjoy a happy ending. And whatever the situation, whether it is genuinely horrible or made up horrible, and we have both in our lives at times, then use these letters, think, as a guideline. True, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. What's the next most loving and uplifting belief, emotion, attitude, or thought that I can create? In this way, you choose joy. And you choose joy in every part of your story, all story long. I bless you.
We've been through some things together, with trunks of memories still to come. We found things to do in stormy weather. Long may you run. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these strangers have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun, long may you run. Well, it was back in Blind River in 1962 when I last saw you alive. You singing? But we missed that shift on the long decline. Long may you run. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these strangers have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun, long may you run. Well, maybe the Beach Boys have got you now, with those waves singing Caroline, rolling down that empty ocean road, getting to the surf on time. Long may you run, long may you run, although these strangers have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun. Long may you run. One more time on that. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these strangers have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun. Long may you run. Long may you run. Thank you.
Hi. Our Monday morning meditation sessions are taking a summer hiatus for the next few weeks until after Labor Day. And our prayer team individually continues to pray and uplift the people on our prayer list. To add a person to the prayer list, please fill in the prayer request slip found in your welcome packet with the person's first name and the first initial of their last name, and place it in the offering basket. You can also send us an email or submit a prayer request on our website or app. Please mark your calendars to join our booth at New West Pride Street, which runs from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, August the 17th. We are asking for help to set up the booth starting at 2. The sign-up sheet is in the fellowship hall. Please join us for this fun and meaningful event. Unity of Westminster is fully self-supported, and we are grateful for your gifts which support our community's message. Many of us contribute with pre-authorized payments, which are especially helpful for our budgeting. If you are not placing anything into the contribution basket today, please bless it silently when it comes to you, then pass the basket along. For our online viewers, you'll find a donation link in the description of the recording. And please like and subscribe to our channel so we can reach more people. Please give freely from a place of abundance and gratitude. Thank you. We are so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And we are so blessed to have this beautiful community of love and joy. Thank you so much, Linda Kidder.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I love it when you are here. Thank you to Dorothy and to Violet for being our platform people today. And Glenn and Pamela, who are at the back on audiovisual. Gisela and Sharon, who are doing ushering. There are people working in the kitchen. There are people setting up, Violet and Fred setting up. There are people who are scheduled to take things down. And there are people who work behind the scenes every week, doing gardening, working in the office, and making it a village where everyone contributes, because we're all part of one family here. So thank you to all of us, and thank you to all of you for being here. Shall we stand and sing our peace song, and then we're going to do our prayer for protection song, and everybody goes into a circle, so we're going to go into a circle. If it feels more comfortable for you not to hold hands, just keep them by your side. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay for coffee after.
Here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony.
I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God. We are the love of God. We are the power of God. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a great week, everyone.